We are continuing with lesson 5, The Happy Prince. And in last class, we have seen that the Happy Prince, he convinced the swallow to stay for one night because he wanted to help the poor seamstress whose son was suffering from fever and wanted to eat oranges. And swallow did so, and when he came back, he told the prince that even it is cold, but he was feeling very warm. On this, the happy prince said he was feeling so because he has done a noble deed, or he has done a very good action. And after that, the swallow, little swallow, he slept, and in the morning, next day morning, he got up and went to the river to have a bath. Now see, tonight I'll go to Egypt, said the swallow, and he was in high spirit. So at that, the swallow said, he was feeling very happy, very delighted. He said, tonight I'm going to Egypt. And then he visited all the monuments and sat a long time on the top of the church steeple. And after that, he just visited all the monuments. Monuments is known to you, memorials or historical buildings. He just visited all the memorials buildings there and spent a very long time on church steeple. Steeple mean the top of the church tower, you can say. When the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince, and when night came or the moon rose, he just came back to the happy prince. Have you any commission for Egypt? He cried. I'm just starting. So he asked the happy prince, do you have any business? Do you have any work in Egypt? He cried that I'm just starting. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you stay with me one night longer? At that, the happy prince asked the or requested the swallow to spend one more night with him. I'm waited for in Egypt, answered the swallow. Swallow again answered that he has been waited for in Egypt, or his friends, they are waiting for him in Egypt. Then, I'm okay, swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Far away across the city, I see a young man in a garret. Now, the happy prince, he is saying that he is able to see a young man who is sitting in a garret. Garret mean a room in the roof. Okay, he is leaning over a desk covered with papers, and in the glass by his side there is a bunch of withered violets. So he is saying that he is able to see that man, and this man, he is leaning, he is bent over a desk which is covered with the papers, and a glass is also kept beside him with a bunch of withered violets. Violet, it's flower. Withered mean dried. Okay, so in that glass there are dried flowers of violet. His hair is brown and crisp. This man's hair, they are brown and crisp. Crisp, you can say curly. And his lips are red as a pomegranate. Pomegranate is a fruit, it's known to you. And his lips are red, and he has large and dreamy eyes. Dreamy eyes mean because of sleeplessness, he couldn't sleep, he is having large and dreamy eyes. He is trying to finish a play for the director of the theater. This man, he's writing a play and he wants to finish that for the director of the theater, but he is too cold to write any more. There is no fire in the garret, and hunger has made him faint. So it is very cold and he is not able to write. There is no fire in the garret, and hunger has made him faint. It means he is getting fainted because of hunger. I will wait with you one night longer, said the swallow, who really had a good heart. And the swallow, who was having a good, noble heart, he said, okay, I'll also stay with you for one more night. He asked if he should take another ruby to the young playwright. Then the swallow asked, if you are having another ruby for that playwright mean that author of the play. This young man, alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. But the prince, he said sadly, no, I have no ruby. My eyes are all that I have left. He said, now I am having my eyes. As we have read that his eyes were made of sapphire, which is also a precious stone. They are made of rare sapphires. He told that his eyes, they are made of rare sapphires, which were brought out of India 1,000 years ago. So he's telling that his eyes, they have been brought for India 1,000 years ago, and he ordered the swallow to pluck out one of them and take it to the playwright. Now this happy prince, he asked the swallow to take out one of his eye and to take it to the playwright, the author of the play, a writer you can say. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play, he said. He said that this man, he will sell this sapphire to the jeweler and buy firewood to warm himself, and he would be able to finish his play. Dear prince, said the swallow, I cannot do that. And he began to weep. On this, the swallow said, no, 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 I can't take out your eye. I cannot do that. And he started weeping, shedding tears. Now, swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you, order you. Now the swallow is saying, prince is saying, swallow, do whatever I am asking you to do. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the young man's garret. And whatever the happy prince asked the swallow to do, he just took out or plucked his eye and flew away to the young man's garret, that small room at the roof. It was easy enough to get in, as there was a hole in the roof. So there was a hole in the roof and he easily entered the room. Through this he darted and came into the room. Okay, now this swallow, he entered through this hole and came to the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the wings, and when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. So this young man, the writer of the play, he was he had put his head in his hands in that sadness, you can say. So he was not able to hear the fluttering or sound of wings, and when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. When he took up his head, he saw that there was that sapphire was kept on those withered, dried flowers of violets. So that's all for today. Rest we'll do later.